Hi everyone, I'm John Paulo Gabriel Villote and this is my feature story. For today's video, we will talk about the struggles of having an online class. We will also discuss the struggles and some tips and routines on how you can manage those struggles. I have my friend here, Isa, to further explain and enlighten you up on how she manages those struggles. So no further ado, let's get started. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Paulo Gabriel Villote, and I am with my interviewee Isabel Calderon to be interviewed about the struggles of online classes. So introduce yourself first, Isa.
Hello. I'm Y. You can call me Y. I'm a fourth year student in UP Diliman.
Okay, so let's start the interview, and my topic would be all about the online struggles, the struggles of having an online class. So we have our question number one. Our question number one is, how often do you attend online classes?
Okay, so I'm already in my fourth year of study. With that, I'm only doing my thesis right now. I only have 3 units. So I don't have a strict schedule with online classes, but I'm only doing asynchronous classes just for advising with my thesis advisor. But I also have NMAT classes because I'm studying for med school. So that's the main online classes that I'm dealing with right now.
Okay, so do you find online classes boring and a waste of time?
It's not really boring. It's not boring at all, and it's not a waste of time. I think education is very important, not just for self growth, but more so for the development of society. So it's definitely not boring, and it's definitely not a waste of time, and it's essential, especially now that we're in the pandemic, because as societies progress, we need to develop knowledge. We need to create knowledge to deal with such crisis like what we're dealing with right now with COVID-19.
Okay, so are you having a hard time focusing with your online classes?
In terms of focusing with online classes, definitely it's really a struggle to just wake up every day to face the computer. I mean, online classes, we're on our laptops or on our devices all hours of the day, right? So we only shut off our devices when it's time to eat or take a bath. But the eye strain that it causes to us, the headaches, um it's definitely bad for our health, etc. So focusing with online classes, it's really a struggle because it's harder to maintain our health, maintain our mental health or our physical health, even just to cope with our or just to fulfill our requirements with our classes.
Okay, very well said, Isa. Okay, next question. When did you start struggling with online classes?
Struggling with online classes. It started even before the start of doing the online classes. Like even just the preparations of it, like thinking about doing it, it's already a struggle, right? So yeah, before the school year started. For in my case, my school year started in September. But even before that, I was already anxious about how this school year would go, not just for me, but for many students out there. So yeah, the struggling or the how I'm struggling with it came way before the online classes.
Okay, so what have you learned with with those struggles you've had in online classes?
I really don't like the idea of thinking of this continuation of online classes as a about learning experience that we can take from like doing it from like learning online, especially because a lot of poor students or students who aren't privileged to have online classes, they're left behind, right? So I don't like saying that it's a learning process for me or that I learned something from this, from doing this, because it's definitely something that's shouldn't be taken lightly by administrations or by departments in the government. So yeah, parang just the idea of having online classes or learning from it, it's really bad. But I guess in a sense, what I learned from this is there's a lot more that our government should do to address the educational system in our country. I mean, even before, we're already struggling with the education system. There's a lot of imbalance, or there's no opportunities for those who are underprivileged, right? So that's really what I learned, like that the government still lacks supporting its students, its teachers.
Okay. So what is your routine that helps you manage with online classes?
Okay, so with my routine, what I try to do is I wake up early in the morning, in even in weekends. Yeah, so doing that, parang it already sets you to understand that, okay, you're gonna be starting with your school. This is not a day for rest. You're learning. You're enrolled. So yeah, just starting with that, having a good meal. That's already my way of helping me manage my time and how I feel about this crisis in general.
Okay, last question. What are your advices or tips for students who are experiencing burnout or struggling from online classes?
I think the problem is that not many people see this as a public issue that needs to be addressed. Like people think that having online classes or struggling with online classes now in the pandemic is a private trouble that is solely to a student, that is experienced only by a student, but it's experienced by many other people. So what I suggest is for students to speak out about their concerns to the administration, to their schools, to let them know that um, uh, this crisis is not a time to bombard students with too much work, right? Because we're already in a health crisis. This is not the right like environment to even do paperwork, etc. I mean, it's essential. It's an essential thing to learn. But I think we can still learn even by not being bombarded with too much academic load. Like we can still learn in our own pace, in the pace that we can take, given how we are all experiencing in this pandemic.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much, Isa, for your time. And I really appreciate all your answers. It would help me to improve my research and, of course, my feature story for multimedia journalism. Again, thank you so much, Isa, for your time. And also to everyone who watched this, thank you so
Thank
much.
you as
That's all.
well, and good luck.